Hello, I'm Arthur. Welcome to my lab. I have an old computer that requires -5 and -12 volts from the power supply. And power supplies that have these voltages are getting rarer and harder to find. And so I thought that I'd buy an extra power supply in case the existing one starts acting up. And I found one on eBay. It was advertised as working and tested. So I bought it with confidence, and sure enough, it does power on. As you can probably tell, I already started working on it, but let's power it on and see what happens. So it does power on. I can feel the fan blowing air. So yeah, sorta, they didn't lie. If they just plugged it in and powered it on, it turned on. So they didn't lie on eBay saying that it was tested and working. But here's the problem. I have this load connected to it to just plus 12 and plus 5, and if I enable the plus 12 load, the power supply starts hissing, but it does output 12 volts, and it's loaded at 12 volt at 1 amp. But let's turn off actually this load and turn on 5 volt 1 amp load, and it instantly turns off the power supply. And now power supply is stopped. The fan is not spinning anymore, so I'll just turn it off. And typically what this means is that there are bad caps in the output section of the power supply. So let's take a peek inside and see what's going on. This power supply was just turned on, so I will try to avoid touching the inside, even though on the low voltage section it should be okay, but still I don't want to risk it. But yeah, once I opened the power supply, I instantly noticed some problems. This cap on the right is puffed. I'm having trouble getting it in focus, but this cap is puffed, the one on the right, and looks like there's some rust, so maybe it started leaking. This one looks even worse, and more of this fun under these wires. I don't know if I can capture this, get these wires out of the way. These are the output wires. But yeah, more puffed caps with signs of corrosion. This one looks the worst, actually. Let me see if I can get it in focus. Yeah, this cap looks the worst. So I'll have to desolder all of these caps, take measurements, and probably just replace all of them, because even if any of them are okay for now, they will probably go bad soon. Just follow their friends. So as I desolder these caps, quick note to myself, this is the one that was the worst, the most corrupted, corroded, and it came out of this rightmost hole. Then this one that looks kind of half decent, actually, this came in from the location in the middle here, and this big boy 3300 mics, which also looks okay, that came out of the leftmost location. So I'll continue with the caps next to it, and we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so now all the caps are removed. I've marked their locations, made a note of what location they are and what value, so that I know which cap to install where when I'm done. And now I'll just need to order, because I'm not sure if I have these values. So I could probably go digging in my old cap box, but I don't know how old those caps will be. I think I'll prefer to install fresh new caps ordered from a reliable vendor. So that's what I'll do. Meanwhile, let's measure the caps that I removed and see what values they have. So this is supposed to be 2200 microfarad at 10 volts, and popping it in 220, so 10 times less. I guess this one will have to go. Despite it looking okay, the top isn't puffed up, it's not corroded, but 10 times less the expected value, that's not gonna fly. Here's the other one, 92 mic. Again, nowhere near the stated value of 2200. All of these caps are 2200, so I won't even read them. We'll just look at the actual values that they have now, or what they measure, which went up from 96 to 190. I wonder how that happened. But it doesn't matter. 190 is still nowhere near the expected value, so not gonna work for me. Here's one that's really corroded, 81 micro. Yeah, this one looks really bad. Another one that's corroded. This is the worst one. 69 microfarads. Yeah, not gonna work. And the big guy, 3300. Let's straighten the pins, pop it in. Let's see if I can make a contact. Okay. Looks like that's a little too much for this meter, 3300. Let's see if I can use my other tester, but before I do that, I think this is the last one of the group. So let's measure this one with this meter. Yeah, 64 or what, 57. Either way, not gonna work. Let's try this one again, just in case I just wasn't making a good contact. Nope, that's too much for this guy. Let's try this one. I hope you can see it. Testing. Capacitor, 3378 microfarad, ESR 0.08 ohm. So actually this one looks like it's good. I might pop this one back in. I think it's okay. And looks like this one is different from all the other caps. Maybe it's just because it's different value, but maybe it was also replaced more recently. So I don't know. Although this goo here on it looks like the original one, so maybe not. Maybe it is the original cap, but just better quality and it survived. I might keep this one, but I'll definitely order these. One of them is rated at 16 volt. The rest of them are all 10 volt 2200. So I'll have to get these caps and pop them back in the power supply. So the big moment, the replacement caps came in. I popped them in. I marked them with a green mark to indicate which ones have been replaced, and I wrote on the inside of power supply a note saying when they were replaced. And power is on. I can feel the airflow and the load test, 5 volt, just under 5, 12 volt, just under 12 at 1 amp. So things are looking okay. I would prefer to see a higher voltage, but I guess maybe the design is to have less voltage than too much. I don't know, but it's close enough. 4.86 should be close enough. Maybe I'll see if I can tune that to come closer to 5 volts, but probably not. but the power supply is back in business.